In St. Mark's Square, seawater washes across centuries-old masonry. As global temperatures rise, tides regularly overwhelm the historic center of Venice. To keep the city above water, Italy constructed the Mosey system, 78 movable barriers at the lagoon's inlets, costing roughly $8 billion to build. The United Nations recognizes places like Venice as having outstanding universal value. That designation turns these historical locations into massive financial engines that sustain local economies through global tourism. Ensuring these sites survive is no longer a quiet academic exercise. Heritage conservation has grown into a highly capitalized industrial sector. In the Arctic, rising temperatures are thawing the permafrost beneath 180,000 archaeological sites, exposing them to rapid decay and coastal erosion. Across the Mediterranean coastline, 49 different UNESCO World Heritage properties face immediate threats from storm surges and rising sea levels. The builders of these ancient structures engineered them for regional climates that remained stable for centuries. Those conditions no longer exist. The accelerated physical decay of these properties poses a systemic economic crisis, threatening the global tourism models built on top of them. High in the Andes, the Inca citadel of Machu Picchu has recorded a temperature increase of 2.1 degrees Celsius since 1960. The original stone drainage systems were designed to handle steady, predictable rainfall. Now, intensified rainstorms and extended drought cycles are actively destabilizing the terraces. Site managers are enforcing strict new logistics to protect both the ruins and the visitors. Entry times are subjected to weather-responsive scheduling, and vulnerable areas face temporary closures. To prevent structural failure, the Peruvian government and international organizations are deploying an emergency climate adaptation budget of over $50 million through 2027. Assets that reliably generated revenue for decades now require continuous infusions of capital just to maintain their current state. In Greenland, the deep freeze that preserved organic artifacts for millennia is failing. Warming soils are rapidly rotting away ancient wood, bone, and animal skins before archaeologists can extract them. In the oceans, warming waters caused severe bleaching stress in 86% of all World Heritage coral reefs between 2014 and 2017. The physical degradation of biological and cultural assets is happening simultaneously across every geographic zone. Isolated site-by-site conservation cannot scale fast enough to stop the losses. This semantic network from researchers in the Netherlands uses natural language processing to analyze thousands of heritage documents. The AI mapped these texts, revealing that different properties face identical climate variables. It shows successful local defenses, like coastal dunes, cross-apply to sites facing the exact same threats. Sharing this categorized data allows international organizations and local municipalities to bypass the expensive process of designing bespoke solutions from scratch. Data science transforms thousands of isolated structural failures into a unified, cost-saving global defense protocol. The increasing frequency of extreme weather events is driving up insurance premiums for tourism operators worldwide. As ancient pathways grow dangerously slick and unpredictable weather patterns emerge, physical risks scale. Machu Picchu has seen a 25% increase in altitude sickness incidents. From low-lying Mediterranean ruins to remote island chains, entire coastal communities depend on the steady influx of visitors to survive financially. When physical danger forces chronic closures, the tourism revenue required to fund local preservation efforts collapses. This chart shows the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's projected sea level rise of 24 to 43 inches, steadily approaching the maximum operational limits of Venice's barriers. The rising baseline asks a difficult financial question. Will an $8 billion infrastructure project be rendered obsolete before its massive cost is fully justified? If a site degrades to the point that UNESCO revokes its outstanding universal value designation, the surrounding region risks losing its primary economic engine. Maintaining historical architecture now requires the combined efforts of climate scientists, data analysts, and international financing structures. Adapting our heritage to survive the coming decades tests our capacity to engineer, fund, and execute our own survival.